How's everybody going? Here we are again, House of the Dragon, Season 2, Episode 2, the double twos tonight. Yep. And we got to see from what, just go ahead, spoiler warning. I liked it. I even more than liked it. I loved it. We still get a little more of the setup here, but man, it's done so well. I don't even care it's setup. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we got some action at the end. We're going to go through talking about it. How are all you guys doing? How you doing, Greg, Matt, and Brandi?
Yeah. Oh, what up? What up?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. I got that excitement going on, man.
Let's go.
Ain't nothing better than having an excitement when you're watching either a great movie or a great TV show. And that's why, as people, we love that stuff, storytelling and everything else, like being able to watch these like actors portray things or a writer come up with something creative and stuff like that. And even though this is based on a story that was like done by George R.R. Martin and some other people, it's basically like a history book. Like, this isn't but a page or two of information that they even have to go on for this show. Like, there are certain things and certain details that are known. So like, hey, like this is a spoiler review, but like, I knew that the two twins were going to fight because I knew some of the information. I didn't know when it was going to happen. I was pretty shocked to see it actually go down in this episode and everything else. But yeah, it's just so great to be able to sit back and relax and like just watch a competent story where it's so beautiful in some cases too. So it's like in the first episode, the first of this season, we had this duality of Alicent and Rhaenyra. One lost a son, right? And then we had that scene where you see Alicent lighting the candles and she's sad because she knows, right? Like, she can only imagine what it's like to say lose a son and everything else. And then we go to this episode and the tables have turned because at the end of last episode, we saw blood and cheese. We saw one of her grandchildren get their head cut off, and they were going after her actual son, but they couldn't find him. Obviously, he was gone. We found out in this episode what he was doing. he was out there trying to get some cheese himself. You know what I'm saying? But so he wasn't in the castle to be found. Coddled. Yeah, like a little baby. Get out of here. But the thing about it is like in this episode, it's like them same things are going on. That same duality of like, now she's lost a family member, man, and she's like upset about it. And then you see Rhaenyra, sitting at her castle, and like it's just so amazing because like if you really look at it, it's like in this episode, in the first episode, it was the sadness part. You know what I'm saying? But in this episode, it wasn't sadness. In this episode, the duality was guilt. They both have the power of guilt on themselves. Right? Rhaenyra, she feels guilty because she lost control. She only had one line in that first episode where she says, I want Aemon, right? I want the one-eyed motherfucker, right? He says it. And Daemon takes that information and says, you know what? I'm going to make the queen happy. I want to get this thing started. And he goes and does what he does. Now, mistakes happen, right? They can't find Aemon, so then they just get whatever they can get. It's technically a mistake. We don't know what Daemon actually told those guys, but I'm pretty sure he probably did hint at, like, you go take somebody, right? Maybe you can't take the right one, but take somebody. So she's guilty because she let that one line of I want Aemon is the reason why the mistake happened. Just like on the other side, the two, Christian Cole and Alicent, are guilty. And they feel guilt because they were sleeping together at the time it happened. It's a different kind of guilt, but it's still guilt on both sides. And they have this guilt and they both feeling it. And I just think that's like beautiful storytelling, beautiful setup. The music on Game of Thrones is always fire. Like, they don't never miss. It's like, bro, they doing the things. You know what I'm saying? They like Doc Holliday out there. Blam, 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 blam. Don't miss a target. But I am going to go around at the very first, though, get overall like thoughts, and then we'll go through a couple of things on the episode by case basis for a couple of minutes. and we'll just go around in a circle here. We'll start with you, Greg. What did you think overall about the episode, man? Did you like it, love it? You thought it was doo-doo? Now, I'm not going to lie to you. If you say it's doo-doo, I think you're lying. But let's see.
Doo-doo, baby.
Let's see what you got, man. What did you think overall about the episode, and was there something you picked up on that you thought was kind of cool?
Man, it felt like a really long episode. A lot of things happened in this episode. I was like, man, this just keeps going. I was like, geez, so many different things are going down. I felt like all the women kind of like, and all the people that had kids kind of felt something in this episode. I felt like they all felt like, damn, a kid, lost his life, and like now, for different reasons, like sympathy, like loss of power in some sorts. The whole thing probably maybe was gonna flip on her. But yeah, I mean, it was just like going through a whole bunch of things. Shout out to Cold World. It's Cold World now, baby. He's the hand. He's all up in everything, man. No
pun intended.
Got his hand in everything.
That man's out here glowing up.
There is one part of this episode where somebody mentions that their dad had a weakness for cake, and I'm like, I know somebody else has got a weakness for cake. You know what I'm saying out there, Matt, like same thing, man. Did you?
Speaking of Matt, cake,
yeah, I got that weakness. Yeah.
but like doing this whole thing, watching the episode, man. Did you like it? Love it? Don't like it? Anything in the episode that you really thought about?
I liked it. I liked it a lot. I really liked when he had Otto hand over the hand of the king.
Powerful scene, man.
That was a good fucking monologue that dude had.
Yeah, I totally agree.
This episode. Oh yeah.
Brandi, what about you? Like it? Love it?
This episode sucked. No, I'm just kidding. Just wanted to see Justin's reaction.
This would have been the reaction. Well, guys, we're down to 3. The 3 musketeers.
Boys, you need a woman to take care of you guys and keep you in line.
We do, because as we're watching the episode right here, and this is the post-credit scene, right? We're talking about this show immediately after we watch it. There's one part where I farted and thought Matt heard it, and then we just laughed for 10 minutes straight. So
and I just did not pay attention to them.
We need help sometimes.
Anyway, I really liked the episode. A lot of the emotion, a lot of things going on in here. Just everybody going off of emotion and the effects that goes on with the trickling down. Now everything is going to be like throwing Otto out, killing all the rat catchers, the brothers fighting, which was a very powerful scene. Fucking Cole. I hate that. I cannot stand that guy. He's got his hand in everything, literally.
Yeah, that guy right there was uppity up, man. Like, and the bad part is I know he's a good fucking fighter, because Damon's one of the best fighters in the land right now. And like technically he beat him in that thing. So he's good. So he's not going to go down easy without a fight. But just a couple of things though. Go ahead. Can
Brandi. I finish? Because you just totally cut it. Jesus.
Yeah, go ahead.
But you just put that. I don't like the way that is. Anyway, no, but then you see everybody hurt. Like Rhaenyra was hurt when her son was killed, and then the king. I can't remember names. Like they're too complicated. But Helena, that's the daughter, right? The one that lost the son. They're both. You see all of them in their like pain. Like the son's more lashing out. The mother is more, like she lost her child. It wasn't the king or anything. It was her kid. Like she didn't lose an heir. She lost a child. It's like Rhaenyra lost a child. They all lost. Mm-hmm. So they're all experiencing loss, and they're all experiencing anger. And so they're all going to lash out, and everything's going to like go cause a ripple effect. One thing happens, it's going to cause another thing to happen. And it's very interesting to watch. And I don't know what's going to happen. But then you had that girl, the one that was the prisoner, and she noticed the twin coming in. Like she was walking, and she's like, stop. you know, she's like, she noticed that that dude was the other guy. I was like, oh, is she gonna get back to the castle and like warn them, and then maybe they'd be indebted to her or something? That, like, that's how I was like, oh, she's gonna go and say something, but it didn't get to that point yet, because he got into the castle and nobody noticed it was him because he looked, the brother and him are splitting same image, you know, like, so they didn't realize that it was the other one, which, yeah, stupid Cole, you know, sending him by himself in there to do that, but like, I can't like fault him. That was kind of a fucking brilliant thing to do. Sending the lookalike brother into the thing to try to kill it. It was very interesting. I did like this episode. I was enthralled. My cousin tried to interrupt me while I was on the camera, so she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm watching Game of Thrones." Shush.
Yeah. Nah.
Well, House of Dragon, but the Game.
Yeah, it's like I said, like it's just beautiful watching a show that's like you just it's like you get to lay down in this comfortable bed with some blankets and pillows and know that you're going to most likely get taken care of. Like, I'm not going to say they're never going to make a mistake, but it's like
taken
that
care of Damon.
Yeah.
Not Damon, but the son being coddled.
Oh yeah.
It was like Voldemort. You know when Voldemort was all shriveled up.
Yeah.
He's all, that's what it looked like.
But yeah, no, it's just like you know, like they don't have to. They don't. They look at their viewers and don't think you're stupid. Okay.
But like, everybody's like everybody's feeling the guilt, because even in that scene, the brother was like, they were coming after me, and they killed my nephew instead. You know, like they killed him instead, and he was kind of feeling the guilt, and he kind of felt the guilt that he got angry that killed his cousin. You know, like, so a lot of mistakes are causing a lot of drama.
I think that lady made a good point when she said that, like, when kings and powerful people get upset, people like me get hurt.
Yeah, that's what always happens.
Yeah, so I think she encapsulated it pretty well.
I mean, it happens in almost anything that you have like a hierarchy in. It's like we had the writer's strike not super long ago, and they found, you know, they got that taken care of to a certain point, but the people that got hurt the worst was the people that build the sets that you don't see on camera. Like, those are the people that got truly hurt. Like, you know, maybe the new writers that were just coming in that was hoping to get their first chance, and then they couldn't because, like, so on anything, it doesn't even have to be war when it comes to these like higher up people, and you have a hierarchy. Like, the lower people is going to be the one that gets hurt. They're going to be the ones that like starve first and everything else. And that's kind of what's happening now. You know, like that's what I'm saying is, like, on that scene that Brandi talked about where the one lady's going to the boat to leave, and then I think it was a girl that's with her, notices, and then like the white worm is what her nickname is or whatnot on the show, and she like notices too. And that they didn't have to like show you every step because they expect you to realize, oh, they realized who it was. So you know that while we were following the brother, that they were running back to the castle to like warn people, and actually got the other brother and warned him. That's why he was able to come in and bust in at the right time to stop what was about to happen and everything. You don't have to like tell everything. You don't have to repeat everything that's happening in the show with like a character. You can actually show it with emotion and things like that. And that happened a couple of times during this episode, but like, I wanted to go through like a couple of things because that's back down.
Sorry, I messed you up, but you.
No, you're good. But no, it's no big deal. We're doing this crap live, one take, baby. But so this is at the very beginning of the show right here, and one of the things was him. We were watching it together, obviously, and like I let them know that I watched like this interview where this guy's talking, and he says like he doesn't say a whole lot. He doesn't have a crap ton of lines. That's part of his characters. He's not supposed to say a whole lot. He's supposed to kind of keep to himself. But he wanted to have this like cool way of like being able to portray things even while he's just walking on camera. And he tried to learn how to walk like Michael Myers from the Halloween franchise, which I thought was just like a cool piece of information. But that's one of the things great about this show is like these scenes like this one right here. Even on the one before, he's walking around he's looking at things, but it's like emotional. You can tell by their facial expressions what he's finding out and everything else. You got the king, and this is the scene like right after he finds out, you know, his grandson or his actual son's dead, and they're like arguing and fighting, and you can see Allison and Christian Cole, they're looking across the room at each other like, whoa, do they know we've been, did you know, do they know you were eating a pie?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they were looking, but you got all these other things happening because none of these other characters know that. We know that, but none of these other characters know that. But I thought the king, bro, you might not like him as a character, right? Because you think he's making the wrong moves or you think he's like flawed or whatever. But bro, this guy right here is putting on an acting clinic. I don't know how old he is. Like, he's obviously younger in the show than probably what he is in real life. But this dude is doing the thing. Because I'm going to tell you, the first season, like, I didn't think he was bad or anything. But, man, he kicked it into another gear. I mean, would y'all agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
He's probably up.
And then we had the scene where they're actually going to use the body. Yeah, they were actually using the body of the little boy that got killed in the first episode to basically parade in the streets on purpose for political gain. And you had people getting disgruntled and everything else like with that scene. There goes a little kid right there. But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, they go straight to a scene where Rhaenyra's got these tears in her eyes because she's sad the little boy died, you know, even if it's technically with her enemy. And she's got these tears in her eyes, and she's like, they think it's me. They're blaming it on me and everything else. And man, this is something we haven't talked about yet, but I'm going to tell you my favorite scene in this show, favorite piece of television I've seen this year, maybe even last year. These two. Ah, man. And the problem that I don't like is that I know because of what's happening right now, they're going to be torn apart. They're not going to be together. There's not going to be a whole bunch of interactions between these two. But man, I wish there was. I wish there was the chemistry these two have with each other. And it's like not and it's like this weird thing to where they kind of love each other, but then they have the problems, and then it's like all weird, you know, it's like Game of Thrones, the House of Targaryens and everything do their weird stuff. So they have these things where like this emotion and all this stuff, like, and then maybe even like a little bit of hatred mixed into it. And these two perform like out of this world. Their go back and forth right here before Damon leaves is just, oh my God. It was movie quality, like maybe even better than some of the movies that I've seen and everything else. This was actually pretty amazing. Do y'all agree with that? Did y'all think that y'all actually dig this part of the episode right here where her and Damon was kind of going back and forth?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought it highlighted their kind of like friction of like
dynamic.
Yeah, like what you know, like how he felt about, you know, like when people get angry, obviously the truth kind of comes out and how the feeling, how they really feel. And so, you know, he felt like he had lost the throne, and that, you know, she was feeling like, you know, I can't trust you, man. Like, you know, you're supposed to be right, you know, right there for me, and I just can't trust you like my father couldn't trust you. So
I just truly felt it when she was like, my father couldn't trust you, and then I can't truly trust you, and just the emotion on her face. But go ahead, Brandon.
I wasn't saying nothing.
Oh, I thought you had went to say something there.
Oh no, my back was hurting, so I backed up.
No, you're good. So right here is something that we had a lot of talking going on when this part was happening. Some of it by me, some of it by Brandi. I think even the others were saying things like Christian Cole out here trying to call somebody else out.
His eyes.
Bruh.
Yep.
Ultimately sends this guy to his death. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, bro, what the hell are you talking about? Like, man, it's just like, I hate when people are like that. I hate when people are so like, the word that I'm trying to think about, hypocritical, man. So much of a hypocrite with Christian Cole. I did think these two guys right here is doing their parts good, unlike everybody else on this reaction. I actually do know some of the story. I do know these characters become a little more important than what they seem right now.
Well, obviously they look at, because they wouldn't be showing them if they weren't.
True that. Yeah, but like,
I don't know what yet, but And then they showed a little bit of the that other the lady and her husband in the bed. Oh my god, the aunt.
Mm-hmm.
Rhaenyra, is it Rhaenyra's aunt?
Yeah. And then we have the White Worm here talking to Queen Rhaenyra. And I thought this was very interesting because she's wanting to be free. Rhaenyra is not knowing what to think about her. But I think after this episode, they're going to start probably having like some kind of a relationship and stuff. This is not very said anything about any material. So nobody really knows where this relationship's really going to go too much. But
I thought it got... Oh, sorry.
No, yeah, go ahead.
No, I thought it got really... I thought she felt her when she kind of explained how like she got ignored by men. And how she felt kind of... And she's like sympathized, like, oh, okay, yeah, I felt like I was overlooked, you know, just because I was a woman.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Like they felt that because she don't think that people recognizes her as queen because she's a woman, and she's like, I tried everything I could and I couldn't be recognized by these men either. So I think they're probably gonna have a pretty close bond because of that and stuff. Then we kind of go over to the scene where we find out the rat catchers got. And pretty interesting right here because one, the dog's kind of whimpering. I don't know why that dog's doing that. He got kicked in the last episode. He should have been kind of happy about it, but
it was still his dog, though. You know.
Yeah, I get it. I understand, but like this was a mistake that Otto Hightower did not like. One of the best scenes, and this is the scene that Greg was talking about, is when the king, in another emotional scene, gets in a fight with Otto Hightower, says, "You ain't the hand no more. Give that damn thing to Christian Cole the Piter. Give it to the Piter." And he does. He gives it to
World Contest champion.
But like the grandfather said, you're going off of emotion, and people are gonna suffer, you know. Because innocent people died, and then you got people at the gates crying and cursing his name, and he's basically like, I don't care about them. I got one of them killed my kid, and so he didn't care about the consequences of the other people, like they're below him. And he
and tell me if you guys agree with me. This is a guy's face. Like, this is perfect face.
Like, oh shit.
No. Oh. With this particular face, right? I'd be talking to this guy, and I would want to believe him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's got this look on his face, like he might be innocent.
No.
But then when you find out,
still have that same intuition as women do.
No. I'm just saying though. But then after you've been around him long enough, and you find out he's a weasel, you just want to beat his ass. Like, I'm telling you right now, I already know, man. This is House of Dragon. This is Game of Thrones. Nobody's safe. You know what I'm saying? Don't get a character that you like, because they ain't. Bro,
Listen, and I can't stand him, and he's going to be around for a while, isn't he?
I can't tell you all that, but I ain't spoiling nobody on here. But I'm telling you, listen, I know that he's a good fighter. I know it, so it is probably going to be more difficult to take him out, and he's probably going to get like in a heroic moment, right, where he takes somebody else big out, and you're like, oh man, but. He's getting to that point in this episode to where listen, if you watch the original Game of Thrones, there was a certain house called the Boltons. And then there was Ramsay Bolton, that piece of shit, that bastard son. And they put him in that chair, put him in the dog pens that they hadn't fed in over a week, his own dogs. And you know what happens? Them dogs eat his ass, okay? Listen, I'm about at the point already with this high and mighty piece of shit.
To be ate by the dogs,
That I hope that almost same thing happens to his ass. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? It's the Game of Thrones, so he'll probably die in some stupid way that's like kind of weak, and you're like, shit.
He's gonna get stabbed by the sword.
This is where we're letting the once slave girl go, and everything else. This is where they actually see while they're marching towards the beach and stuff right around in this area. They see. The twin, they notice them, so you know there's going to be a warning thing that happens. Our good queen, because I think I'm on the black side. I think I'm on Rhaenyra's side, but I just don't know because it's starting to get a little gray. It's starting to get a little iffy. But she's fitting to go to sleep, and then we have, man, guys, we didn't probably talk about this enough there in our opening statements. The fight between the two twins.
Oh no,
But
I did. I said I loved
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It was very powerful. That was the powerful scene for me.
Yes, I do agree. But it's so hard because there's so many powerful scenes. Like I love that Daemon and Rhaenyra like sequence, right?
Mhm.
And then this is like a fight, and it's a beautiful fight because it's got emotion.
Mhm.
Could you imagine? And the thing about it is it's not super crazy. Like you think, oh, this is kind of crazy. There's these twins, and then they have to like fight each other and stuff. Oh, look at this. They're trying to like fake me out. But like we watched the end of the episode where they talk about some of this stuff, and it was something I didn't even really think about, but it isn't so off the wall. It happened in our own country during the Civil War. There were brothers on opposite sides of the field.
Mhm.
Like recorded evidence where they were shooting at each other, and they didn't want to. Like they love each other, they're still brothers, and that's what these guys are. It was just one thought that he wanted to follow the king and Rhaenyra because the king.
Some family members are clash, but they loved each other.
Exactly, man. And in the book, like there is one thing I will say about this, since the fight's already happened, it won't be a spoiler to you guys, but like in the book, it's actually kind of shady exactly how the fight goes down. But there's one instance where one of the people that say that they witnessed it was they fought for an hour nonstop and died in each other's arms. And they pretty much did it here, but you ain't going to have an hour-long fight. That don't even make no sense. So I think that I think that was like somebody trying to make the fight look better, in the book, because like I said, it's like a history book and it's like different people's accounts. It's like you probably want to think it lasts an hour because everything's probably moving in slow motion if you did see it. But this was a good fight, great fight. One of the best things I love about Game of Thrones in most cases, maybe not every single one of them, but in most cases, like 90% of the time, it looked like a real fight. Sometimes I do not like the stuff where it's like, bro, this crap ain't happening. Like, there's none of this kind of stuff. And like, the other show that we're doing here is like The Acolyte, and you have the one girl that's like, strike me with all your strength, and she does her little move. It's like that to me kind of like goofs around with things and doesn't make it seem like super realistic, little things like that. But in Game of Thrones, man, these things look like these two guys really did run at each other and really did fight each other. The one guy's tearing up, should have won an Academy Award while he stabs his brother. And then immediately, I kind of like this change because like one of the things they tell is like they died in each other's arms, which could be powerful too. But the fact that the one brother did win technically, and then he looks at the queen, and they're not even sure if it's the good one that wins or their side that wins. And then he says, when he opens his mouth and says, "Your Grace," and then like the queen just for whatever reason recognized 100% it was him before he did what he did, and she's like, "Oh, Eric," and then he's like, "Sorry," and he just falls on his own sword.
Yeah.
Because of the guilt, like he was doing his honorific, like the honor thing. But the honor thing made him kill his brother. Like, no way he went here is good or bad. It's like, oh man, that's just. I'm probably gonna rewatch that after we get through with this. Like, that was a really good scene, to be honest with you. Then we have the scene with daughter and father,
where she's like, "I've sinned," and he's like, "I don't want to hear it. Like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it." He probably already has an inkling of it, but he don't want to hear it. Do not say it out loud.
Yep. And then we had this piece of shit. We had this, like, she's over here. She's not thinking about Cole at this moment. She just had this heart to heart with her dad. She just trying to like go to freaking bed or whatever, dude. And then she walks in the goddamn room, and who's sitting on the bed but this son of a bitch? God, look at this piece of shit. Look at him. He's got that innocent look on his face again. Bro, she did slap the shit out of him.
Yeah,
quite a few times.
Yeah, this is one of those things where I'm pretty sure I'm going to give props to this actor. There's a reason why I don't like this guy, because he actually acts really good. So you can believe that this character out there exists. He's doing a good job. So the actor, kudos to the actor, even though a lot of people's going to hate his character and call him a son of a bitch and everything else and make fun of him. But he's a good actor. And I'm pretty sure, and this is the same thing that I would have did if I was in this position, is like, all right, girl, we making a movie. We're making a show, multi-million dollars. I'm getting paid pretty good. Slap these shit out of me for real. Don't hold back. We don't need to have no stunt person or nothing like that. Slap the crap out of me, and because that looked real. I mean, especially that second one. The first one kind of grazed him a little bit, maybe not that bad, but that second one, boy, she lit his ass up, man.
Yep.
Lit his ass up. But yeah, man, overall, just a great episode, and obviously she kind of dug it because look at the hunger in those eyes. Look at the hunger in both of the eyes, man. Boy, tell you what, that was some great stuff, man. I love this show. I love talking about it with you guys. It's just, man, there's just so much to say. You almost have to decompress when you watch something good. You know what I'm saying? When you're watching something great, like you want to talk about it, but then you also just kind of want to like seep it in and everything else.
Justin's gonna go watch it again.
I might even do like a bigger breakdown on my own, man. Probably like back to back.
Why was my breakdown not good enough?
No, it was good. I loved, like I said, I appreciate you guys being here so that we can talk about it right afterwards. Appreciate you guys being part of the Patreon, which allows you to come in here and do this with us. If you see this video and want to come and join in, we got spots for you, man. All you got to do is join the Discord. We drop a StreamYard link in one of our channels, and you can join at certain tiers and be part of the, we calling it now. We got a new name for it, which I actually like, called the post credits. Because we actually talk about this, like I said, immediately after we do that. And we do this thing in one take. So it is what it is, man. We got people from all over the country with different takes. We got the New England area over here. We got the deep, dirty South right here. We got the far, far West over there with Big Daddy Matt. So the stuff he was doing on camera earlier is cool because it's legal there. And my man, my man in technically the South, but we're gonna say in the middle of the country because it's in a big ass state called Texas, right there, baby. You know what I'm saying? It's, appreciate everybody. Yeah. Thank you guys, and hopefully I'm gonna take an extra second right here
and hit the right one.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit the TV reactions credits this time.
Oh,
everything else. But hey, guys, until next time, man. Live, love, laugh.
Cold world.
Don't be cold.
Eat that cake. You know what I'm saying? Eat that cake. That's all I gotta say, guys. Until next time, peace. Peace.
No.